Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island UK, Season 11, Episode 34.
Listen here, I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. You ready to walk us through this, Blair?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
So Iyo and Jessica, they are both happy that they're still here.
Okay.
Grace, Jessica, and Jesse are talking, and Grace wants Jessica to know that she is valued in the villa and they are happy she's here, even though a lot of people are sad that Jess is gone.
I think, Grace, who made you the voice, the leader, to speak for the villa?
Right.
You just got here yourself.
Well.
And, you know, Samantha had to be the sacrifice for you. So, like, I think, Grace, don't speak for the villa. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Joey is happy that Iyo stayed. They did both notice that Mimi shed a tear when he was up there. Mm-hmm. And they think that possibly it could be because she didn't expect to see Iyo being vulnerable. Iyo says that she was probably crying for Jess too, though. Mm-hmm. Iyo says that his feelings are still there for Mimi, but his focus is Jessica.
Any thoughts on that, Blair?
I think that Iyo, I hear what he's saying. His feelings are still there for Mimi, but if your focus is Jessica, let your focus be Jessica.
Yeah.
I think constantly pulling Mimi or telling her that you want her to know where your feelings are and where you stand. I don't really see how that makes Jessica the priority. I think it just adds to more confusion. And at that point, if you want to continue juggling them both, then you really don't have a decision to make and you need to make a decision. So pretty much Mimi has made that decision for you. If she can stand strong, she has made that decision for you. And I'm hoping that Iyo would really make Jessica his focus in pouring into that relationship and not constantly looking over his shoulder at Mimi.
Yeah, so. He's not going to do that. Yeah. And I think in this episode, we're going to see Joey kind of playing both sides of the field and things of that nature. Let's keep going.
So it is bedtime. The girls are really upset that Jess won't be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mimi did feel sad to see Iyo up there. Kieran tells Nicole while they're in bed that he feels like he's more into her than she is into him, and she tries to reassure him that I'm madly in love with you.
Yeah, there's trouble brewing with Kieran and Nicole, and I'm happy for it. I see Mimi and Josh is getting a little cozy in the bed, a little bit more cozy than I ever saw Iyo and Mimi in the bed. Same. So Mimi, I hope you just stay there, apply the pressure, things of that nature.
Yeah, Josh is telling some of the guys that he is on another level with Mimi. Yeah. Things are going really great. Ruben ended up making Grace some tea.
Okay, nice.
So Jessica and Iyo end up having a conversation. She says that she is going to be attached to Io's hip. She is just over the moon by the fact that they're both still here and they get to spend more time together. He says that he thinks things are going good and he wants them to continue on getting to know each other. He jokes around saying like, oh, like that's kind of a lot. You wanted to be attached to me. That's kind of a lot. And he's joking, but I always think there's a little bit of truth in jokes. So maybe that's something to note. She wants to be, she seems like she wants more communication from Iyo.
Okay.
She keeps saying like, I want you to say I'm obsessed with you. I want you to say that you're in love with me. And she's, knows that she's going a little bit far in what she's saying, but Iyo really isn't giving her much when it comes to reassurance and communication and how he feels about her. But he says that he is enjoying where they are at.
Listen here, from a guy perspective, when you hear something like this, you hear run, right? She's giving obsessed, she's giving crazy. I don't know what she wants from Iyo. I can agree with her with like, hey, talk
a little more.
You know what I mean?
Tell me how you feel.
But the whole, like, I want you to be obsessed with me. I'm going to be attached to your hip. I want you to say you're madly in love with me and things of that nature. You sound crazy. I think, like, just to give you some type of newsflash, new Jess, that just because I chose you, that doesn't mean that you was on the same level as Mimi. Well, even though I chose you over Mimi, that doesn't mean that like now I just get to eject one person and now insert you in the same like level as Mimi. No, you're new to this. You're not true to this. So I think there's something that she's gonna realize that maybe she may realize that Iyo is just hype.
Yeah.
And maybe he's just a beautiful skin. Maybe he's just beautiful smile. But I don't think what she's looking for he have.
No, I don't think so either. And I don't know if she'll see it. I think she's just so excited to be on the show, in the villa, to have gotten chosen by Iyo, only for her to not necessarily see that he's not giving you much.
Yeah.
He isn't giving you much. So I don't know. I think that she's going to ride it out to the end, but I definitely don't see them being anything long term.
Now, in this whole thing, right? Let's compare scenes where Iyo was making eggs and things like that, and Mimi was basically there, basically being a what do you call it? A person like what's the word? I don't want to say an ex, because even though Mimi described it as, like it's basically I'm here with my ex and his new girl and things like that.
Okay.
But she's basically, let's just say, bystander for now.
Okay.
Right? She's a bystander and she's talking to Iyo. Right. Okay. And she's basically saying like, it was kind of sad to see you up there. And he's kind of flirting a little bit. And he's basically saying like, it would have been easier for you if I would have left. Right. Mm-hmm. And she said, well, no, it's not like that. Did you have a problem with that? With how Mimi communicating or keeps communicating in small doses with Iyo?
The only reason I have a problem with it is because I don't want Mimi to do it. Okay. I wish Mimi would move on, because I really don't think Iyo was all he's cracked up to be. However, I think Iyo is all he's cracked up to be for Mimi. I think that they like how they both are very vague with each other. Mm-hmm. They enjoy it. I guess they think it's like flirty banter and not annoying. I find it to be annoying that they can't talk straight to each other. Okay. But it seems like they are, like I always say, they are each other's pace. And I'm just... See, another thing that irritates me about Iyo is I think earlier in the day, somebody had asked him what your plans for the day was. And he said, whatever the day brings. And I'm like, Iyo, we are here to win some money. We are here to solidify a connection. Why are we drifting in the wind? Can we please have some intention behind what we want to do? So, but the thing is, it seems to work for them. But I wish Mimi would stop giving him the time of day, to be honest. You can be nice, you can be friendly, but for her allowing herself to basically let him know like he's still interested, she's still interested, or I felt the way you were up there and I wouldn't like if you were gone. Like that, to me, that just adds more fuel to the fire for him to play with you. And I'm like, girl, don't let him play with you no more. So
and that's how I feel. I feel like the more you talk to Mimi, the more you are passive aggressively, you are going to irritate Jess. And I'm talking about your new girl. I remember the last episode, I think it was, when he was talking to somebody, Iyo was talking, and he wanted to share the information with Joey. I think it was Joey or somebody. Yeah. And Jess was right there. She was like, well, what happened? Tell me what happened. He was like, in a minute, you're warm. Whatever the slang was. Yeah. Right? And I think the more that he talks to Mimi and the more it is seen that he's talking to Mimi, Jess is going to be like, So what do y'all talk about? And
they never talk about anything. And there really is nothing he can say.
Really.
And I can see Jess getting more and more irritated, just like you're saying, because number one, you keep talking to this girl, but telling me y'all aren't really talking about anything. Yeah. But honestly, Jess, that is true. They are really not talking about anything. Not. But
you chose me.
But you chose me, and it feels like you're hiding something because you won't tell me what was explicitly said.
Let's keep going.
Anyway, Mimi, Matilda, and Nicole are talking. Mimi tells the ladies that she would have been upset if Iyo would have left.
Yeah.
Josh is thinking that he wants to do something to cheer Mimi up since Uma left and Jess left. So he's going to make her some type of dessert and surprise her on the terrace.
Okay.
Grace and Ruben have a quick chat, and they're talking about their connection, and they're enjoying talking to each other. And Grace mentions that she does think it's important to actually see what the compatibility is with somebody versus just going after lust, which she thinks that maybe that's what she and Joey had during their time.
Now, this is the scene right here.
So, yeah, this is a scene where Mimi and Iyo talk while he was making eggs in the kitchen. Mimi was praying that Iyo wouldn't leave. She would have been upset, and she's happy that they're cool with each other. And there's just a lot of giggling and smiles and vagueness during the conversation. So, anything to add?
No. Keep going.
Okay. Josh is telling the guys that things are going great with Mimi.
Yeah.
Then Iyo and Kieran have a talk, and Kieran tells Iyo that he thinks that he should just go for it with Mimi.
Stop right here. Kieran talks to Iyo. Kieran, who is basically with Nicole.
Closed off.
Right? Closed off with Nicole, who is basically in the winning so far, tells him that he should just go for it with Mimi.
Yeah.
Why would he tell him that?
It's basically he's trying to give him a layup to be in the running for the win. But Iyo won't listen.
Because I'm like, okay, I know this is a love show. I know things like that. But there's a prize to this. Why would you, especially with everybody saying that they like Mimi and Iyo together, why would you say that to Iyo, basically helping him, knowing the boy already confused, knowing that he's not really a guy that have that much conviction behind his decisions and things like that.
Right.
I don't understand the whole like, hey, you should really go after Mimi when he chose not to go after Mimi. It's one thing if Mimi had the power and she said, I choose so and so, but this is Ayo's choice, and he said, I believe that I want Jess.
Yeah.
And he did not choose Mimi. So I'm very confused by the guys saying, hey, bro, you should really go after Mimi. I'm very confused by
And another
that.
thing, too, the guys were egging him on during Casa to get to know Jess, and Jess brings out a different side of you and all this type of stuff. But now that things are kind of back to normal, they're like, maybe just go with Mimi. But I think that's because they see that I don't know if they see that he's more into Mimi or just that he doesn't seem all the way sold on Jess. It's hard to tell.
Or maybe they not sold on Jess.
Maybe so.
Because sometimes the villa can sometimes just tell you how they feel about somebody else. Maybe something about Jess that they not really feeling. They like, Mimi is more laid back and things like that. She's someone that's not in the way.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Jess seems like she want to be in the groove with everybody. She's happy to be here. I'm not really feeling her, you know?
Possibly. So Josh asked Ruben if he can get Mimi away so he can make this dessert surprise for her.
Yeah.
So he ends up getting Matilda to have her move to a different section of the backyard. And Josh goes ahead and makes the food. Ruben gathers Mimi to bring her to the terrace, and she was pleasantly surprised by the dessert waffle surprise that Josh made her.
Okay.
He tells her that he hopes that this brightens her day. She said that she appreciates it. This is not something that she is used to.
Jay, you have any thoughts on this scene?
I thought it was a nice gesture. I didn't have too many thoughts on it. I just feel like Mimi, if somebody is really applying pressure, like, receive it and reciprocate it is my only thing. Receive and reciprocate. Don't let Iyo just come to you laughing and saying vague things when somebody is showing that they're interested and wants to be on the way to locking it down.
While he making someone else's eggs.
Exactly.
And things of that nature. The fact that Mimi said that she has did she have experienced something like this, I'm like, what have you and Iyo been doing this whole time? Besides just giving her coffee and things like that. Hopefully you was giving her coffee. But my thing is, it shouldn't be this easy for Josh. Josh is someone who just met the girl a couple days ago and things of that nature, chose her to couple up with, and she is saying things on day 3, if that. I never experienced something like that. Yeah. Iyo, what have you been doing for these past 30 plus episodes? You know?
So Sean tells Iyo, I saw you over there cooking the megs. You were smiling with Mimi in the kitchen. And Io's telling him that it is tough. Like, his feelings are still there for Mimi. Kieran feels that his relationship with Nicole is one-sided. He thinks that he loves her more. And Sean tries to tell him, like, she loves you just as much. And Kieran can admit that he thinks he might be overthinking every little thing. It's been a tough process for them, but to him, it's been worth it.
Is Kieran, is he creating his parachute? Is he building his parachute right now?
I don't think so. I think that, honestly, I think that Kieran got a little bit of Nicole in him as far as the overthinking and overreacting. I think he handles things a lot better, but if he's willing to withstand that from Nicole, then I think he must identify with it in some kind of ways, because Nicole would have been gone on my nerves by this point.
Yeah. So. I don't know. This seems like, from a guy perspective, I'm just building my parachute on the side just in case I'm ready to eject.
Oh, okay.
Just something as simple as I feel like I love you more than you love me, and that's a problem. And she and like, what is she supposed to say to that? Like, that is a state. No one's never gonna say, yeah, you're right.
Right.
So by me even creating that statement, I'm creating a statement that you can have no response to.
True.
Because I created a problem that wasn't there. You get what I'm saying? So I think he's saying this because he's building his parachute, and she can say, like, I do love you, I do love you, I do love you, things like that. And she can reassure him as much as possible. But the fact that this kind of came out of nowhere, we see Nicole sleep outside. We see Nicole not give any other guys any attention and things of that nature. And outside of her nitpicking little things that he's done, I can see if he said, I feel like you nitpick me, that's more specific. But to actually pull this out of thin air, I think he's building a parachute.
Okay. So Jesse and Joey end up having a conversation.
Okay.
She feels that they're growing stronger in their connection.
How?
Joey thought that her getting jealous from the competition was cute.
Okay.
So they both feel like they're catching feelings for each other, and he tells her he doesn't have eyes for anyone else.
Okay.
Josh is talking to Kieran, talking about how things are going well with Mimi when he gets a text. So there will be a party at the villa tonight.
Okay, nice.
So we are at nighttime. Everybody's dancing, partying. And after all of that, Joey gets a text that Loli is in the hideaway waiting to go on a date with 3 boys.
Okay.
So up first is Joey.
Okay, let's find out about this.
So, Loli, she is blonde. She kind of favors Jessie to me, just kind of in her build and her stature.
Okay.
But we learned that she is a flight attendant. She thinks that her personality would match with Joey, and that's why she selected him. She feels, though, that he's gone into his shell a little bit since he's been with Jessie. He seemed to be more joking and fun before. And Joey tells her that it's just that he's not trying to move in a certain way with the other girls in the villa. He's trying to be respectful of Joey and their connection. Jessie and their connection. He says that we're not closed off, but it would take a lot for his head to turn. In the meantime, Jessie is talking to Grace, and Jessie doesn't think that Joey's going to shut down any type of flirtatious banter with this girl.
Interesting.
But she knows she can't be mad because she pretty much did the same thing to Grace. Back with Joey and Loli, Joey is trying to find something serious in his next relationship, and Loli says she's been single for 5 years and she is looking for a husband.
Okay.
So Jessie is saying that she trusts Joey. She's telling this to Grace, but she doesn't trust the girl. And Grace is like, honestly, the girl doesn't know you anything, just like you didn't know me anything.
And while I was watching this scene and while things was going on, I literally said, why do people keep pulling Joey? Joey doesn't seem that interested in this girl, Jessie. Jessie seems stable. Like she just seems like there's nothing great about her. There's nothing terrible about her. She's just there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, why y'all keep throwing Joey in my face? Eventually the way that I will say, based off of, especially since Ronnie left, Long Live Turbo, it do seem like his light is a little more dimmer. You get what I'm saying? And the fact that there hasn't been a lot of bombshells that came in, especially since Jessie and things like that. He just really been like laying in the cut. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that don't necessarily mean that I feel like he likes Jessie though. So this whole time while he's talking to Loli and things of that nature, I'm like, why did he get to talk to the bombshell? What about Connor? He's literally sharing a bed with Ruben.
We did see that.
I was like, come on, man, somebody throw this man a bone. And then guess what happened?
Connor's up next.
Thank you, Connor.
So, ready? Oh, so
please.
Okay. Joey tells everyone that she's a blonde. She's from someplace with an L in the UK. Joey was trying to talk to Iyo when Jessie is just like, is he not going to talk to me? And she yells across the villa, you want to go for a chat? And he's like, okay, like in a second, I'm going to get to you. So Joey tells Iyo that he knows where he's at in his situation with Jessie. And pretty much he's not really interested in getting to know the new girl in that way. He's happy where he's at.
This scene speaks volumes to me. It kind of lets me know, and it's sad. I know it's sad. We are coming to the end of our Love Island experience, right? Yeah. What you realize is that really not much of the OG guys are there. Right. So when Joey comes out, he just want to talk to a familiar face over the person that he's coupled with because she's not a familiar face. So he's going to Iyo. You get what I'm saying? He can't go. His boy Ronnie's gone. What is my man name? Will is gone. You get what I'm saying? So he just tried to basically like, yeah, the new girl is this, the new girl is that. You know how when guys see a new girl and things of that nature, we want to talk about it, laugh about it, talk about the things we would do to the new girl, but really we not because we really in a relationship and things like that. He just want to do that. And she's like, come on, talk to me about it. And I'm like, you're about to lose Joey. Okay. And truth be told, I'd be happy if we lose both of y'all. Okay. To be honest. So let's see how Connor went with this conversation.
So he's telling Loli, Connor is, that he wants someone that is a friend first, and she feels the same. She has on an 11/11 necklace, and that is actually his birthday. But honestly, the conversation to me didn't go that well. Connor I think he was just happy to be there, and Loli, it didn't seem like she was digging that much to actually get to know him. Yeah. And I didn't feel like he was trying to get to know her. I kind of felt like Connor missed his opportunity, if there even was one to begin with.
I don't think so.
So then she says, all right, go ahead and get Kieran.
Oh, man.
And he was like, what? And she's like, yeah, go get Kieran. So Kieran comes in and she tells him, I know your situation, but I have to get to know all the boys and I wanted to chat with you. And I thought that was a cop out. I'm like, you could literally get to know any other boy of the other boys who are not closed off. But she tries to go in kind of like smooth in a way. And he says that he and Nicole are good. He is officially closed off, probably the only one in the villa who is officially closed off.
Crazy.
And she said, well, I just had to go off initial attraction and vibes. And she feels that he comes across well as a young guy.
Yeah.
Kieran said that, you know what, there is someone in the villa who is going to be great for you. All the other guys are open, so let's get out there and find you somebody.
Oh my goodness, not him?
I was like, dang, Loli, you sure did miss a date. You could have picked anybody else.
Truth be told, I'm not even gonna blame the people in the villa on this. Loli, you're a terrible bombshell. The whole point of you being a bombshell is that you're supposed to disrupt. I understand the fact that you even said something across the lines of I'm looking for a husband. I'm like, get her off the show. Get her off the show. You have too much morals and you like respect yourself too much. We don't need you on the show. Especially at this time and this point of the show, your job, somebody should be coming in strictly for Nicole. Somebody should be trying to come in strictly for Kieran. Somebody should be trying to come in for Mimi to disrupt. Basically, the whole point is we're not handing out this money. You got to win this money. Right. So we got to see, Kieran, are you serious about Nicole? Nicole, are you serious about Kieran? I'm going to bring somebody in who knows everything about you, who knows your flaws, who knows the in and outs of your relationship because they've been watching on the outside. And we're bringing people in to break people up at this point of the show.
Yep.
Not to come in and say, I'm looking for a husband. Get off my TV screen, please.
So Jesse and Joey have their conversation.
Yeah.
Joey tells her that Loli was nice. He tells her how the conversation went and the comments she made about Joey being more in his shell since being with Jesse. But he tells Jesse that he did not fancy Loli. Jesse thinks that comment was being disrespectful by mentioning her and how Joey was being in relation to her and how he's changed. He didn't think it was a disrespectful comment, but she's not feeling her off of that to start.
Jesse, let it go. Because the only thing Jesse kept saying was, when you was with Grace, I didn't do that. Well, you're not Loli.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Anything you thought about this episode, this scene, anything in general?
Overall, I just want Mimi to leave Iyo alone and focus on this new connection with Josh. Go with the person who was giving you the energy. And it would be one thing if she didn't like Josh and she was just like, I just really like Iyo. Then I would be like, okay, try where you actually desire to be. Yeah. But it seems like she's getting along with Josh. So don't allow somebody's, indecisiveness get you indecisive. Go where you want it and celebrate it, girl. So
I 100% agree, but I don't think Mimi got that in her. Yeah. Right? Sometimes, unfortunately, we live in an era to where people don't like the people that like them or that is 100% decisive about them. Josh is saying, I came in with Mimi. His speech was a little crazy.
It was.
But I say, but he made a breakfast. He's there for her with the whole Uma and Jess thing. Guess what? Iyo knew Uma and Jess too. He ain't make her no eggs. He ain't give her anything that's like, hey, I know we're not together, but, and your friends left, here's something. He didn't do that. Nope. The new guy that just came in who didn't know any of those girls did that for you. Stop talking to Iyo. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Y'all be good.
Bye.